And I know a lot of people are clamoring to this is the return of the Attitude Era. And I'm going to give y'all my thoughts of why I don't think it is. What's going on, everybody? It is I, the Franchise, here with another installment of Wrestle Talk with the Franchise. And we are in the final stretch. This is it. This week right here is the week that we as wrestling fans have been waiting for. This is the go-home show for Raw in Brooklyn. Roman Reigns, The Rock, the Bloodline will be in attendance. Will we see Cody Rhodes after the events that happened last Monday in Chicago, which I will be talking about on this episode? Then we have NXT that Tuesday, tomorrow. And then Friday in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, at the Wells Fargo Center, we will have the go-home show for SmackDown. And then we have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And then Saturday, 1 o'clock, we have NXT Stand and Deliver. And then that night, WrestleMania Saturday. And obviously, we know WrestleMania Sunday will be the following night. So here's a little programming to let you guys know. Next Monday, there will be no Wrestle Talk with the Franchise. I know. Why? But that's just because I don't want to do the recaps in pieces. I want to do the weekend recap. So I will be delivering it to you guys. Think about this also. I'm also giving y'all the recap for the weekend and the aftermath of WrestleMania. So you're going to get my thoughts on the weekend. Then you're going to get my thoughts on the Monday, the Tuesday, and the Friday after WrestleMania weekend, which is the biggest nights post the show. So even though y'all are not getting it next Monday, you will get more content, or you will get a boatload of stuff delivered to you the following Monday. So the third Monday of April. Okay? April Fools, April 1st, today. Nothing April 8th. Then you have that following Monday. So that following Monday, I will be back with a new episode, giving y'all my thoughts on everything that happened post WrestleMania weekend and post WrestleMania weekend. But this episode here is not the preview show, because that is actually going to be delivered to you guys on Thursday for WrestleMania. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver will be tomorrow. So you're getting this episode, which I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Tuesday, you're getting the TakeOver Stand and Deliver preview show. And then Thursday, you are getting the WrestleMania preview show. I know that's a lot, but because this is the biggest week in professional wrestling. This is the biggest week in sports and entertainment. This is the Super Bowl of the WWE. Okay? This is it. This is the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the immortals. People are made famous. Legends are made. Legacies are created during this moment, during this weekend. So, with that being said, let's dive into what everybody has been talking about since last week, since last Monday in Chicago. And that's one question. Is the PG era over? Is this the end of the PG era? And are we now about to embark on a new era? Or, as some people want to say, the return of the Attitude Era. Now, we all seen Monday night. We all seen, which by the way, Monday night in Chicago was by far one of the greatest nights in a very long time, probably well over a decade, that we had from top to bottom an absolute banger of a show with Raw. From the opening to the end. I don't think there was a moment where you were bored watching Raw. If you were in attendance, I know you weren't bored. We had the surprise appearance of the final boss. Then we had him in the show in what was probably the most... If any of y'all have been locked into this show since the beginning, I've always said, this is what I wanted. This is what I want. And I know a lot of people are clamoring to this is the return of the Attitude Era. And I'm going to give y'all my thoughts of why I don't think it is. Why, as I've said in the past, leave the Attitude Era in the past. Let's not bring it back because there has been so much growth and change in the business. Will we see more of this edginess? Maybe. But it's only when warrant. I've said this before. I will continue to say this. The reason why this that happened on Monday was so different, was so edgy, was so like, oh my God, what just happened, was because we haven't seen this in a very long time. We haven't seen anyone bleed, show color in a very long time. So when it does, not intentionally, we've seen obviously someone bust a lip open, for example, Finn Balor, last year's Wrestlemania had got split open. Those were not intentional. That wasn't a part of the story. That wasn't a part of what was supposed to happen, but it happened. This was a part of the story. And now we have people who are so much like, this is what we've been wanting. Yes, give us the Attitude Era. No, we're not. When warrant, you get that. I said they should have did that when Sammy turned on the bloodline. We needed to see an ass whooping that would have left you speechless, as they did in Chicago on Monday. There was no words. It was like, oh my God. What just happened? As The Rock said, this is what happens when you fuck with the final boss. And to hear him say that was it was needed. It was warrant because of the intensity of this rival, of this story. Monday, today, I can't wait to see what they're going to do. How are you going to up that? Is Cody even going to show up? If it was up to me, I wouldn't have Cody show up. Maybe have him show up on Friday. But I would not have him show up tonight. Even though it's in Brooklyn, even though it's a go-home show and everybody's going to want to see it, I think you need to just let Cody sit, like, make it so bad that we don't know the status of Cody Rhodes. We don't. Is Cody going to be able to compete in this tag team match at WrestleMania Saturday? Start developing that, build that up, make that kind of the thing. Or if he does show up on Monday, he almost did it on Monday in Chicago. He almost did it in Chicago. He almost did. It wasn't quite the Hard Times promo, but when he told the crowd, I need you. And I need everyone to point at the sign. And they all pointed at the sign. And that was before The Rock showed up. But that was close. It was close enough to be the Hard Times promo. But what did The Rock tell Cody? You don't know what Hard Times is. So now I've been begging for Cody to do it. Cody, this is your final shot. Do it. Do that promo. Do that promo that we've been clamoring for, that we need. We need this promo from you. We need to feel it. We need to be behind you. The fans need to be behind you. Because what you noticed is the switch. And I said it when it happened live. I went on to Instagram, RCW_podcast. I went on, and what did I say? I said, you heard the switch. The minute The Rock's music hit, that crowd lost their shit. They went crazy when The Rock came out. It was some boos, but there was more cheers until he didn't say nothing. Until he just walked to Cody with his hands behind his back, which was very symbolic, very much telling him, look, I'm not about to do anything to you yet. And then whispered to him. And everybody wanted to know, what did The Rock have to say? What did The Rock have to say to Cody? And if you follow him on Twitter, or if you follow him on social media, he let it be known Thursday in a post. He quoted, "Tonight, I'm going to make you bleed." He said that. That's what he said. The following one was, "A man of my word, final boss." It didn't have to be this way, but now it's the only way. The final boss. And then, the most, I don't want to call it controversial, but the most scathing post. I hate constraints and bullshit rules. And just because some WWE producer says clear, meaning we are no longer live on air and the show is over, that does not mean I just stop whatever I'm doing and tell everyone great job. It fucking pissed me off. I can't shut my high emotions off just because the script says we're done. But even in this crazy fucking world of professional wrestling, this is a microcosm of a larger issue I have with individuals, corporations, and governments telling us what we can and cannot do. You have to do it this way. You have to say it that way, or you'll get canceled. They create fear if you have a different perspective and don't live by their rules. It's their way or no way. Fuck that. I say it the way I want to say it. I do it the way I want to do it. My choice, our choice. Fuck your clear, final boss. That was on Friday, along with the video right here.
Clear, guys. You stay down. Fuck that.
Clear, guys.
Fuck that. You shut your mouth. Clear my ass. How did that feel? Did that feel good? What, just because the show's over, that doesn't mean that this shit stops. The Rock doesn't give a fuck. Huh? You should cry. You should cry, boy. Look at that blood. Now, look at this blood. Ah! Yes. Yes. What? Show is over and then it stops? Fuck that. Your script? Fuck that. Ah! God! This is what happens, boy, when you fuck with the final. Come in here, cameraman. Look at that face. Look at that. Huh? Now, Mama Rose. Mama Rose. This is for you. That's for you. I'll see you at Wrestlemania. Fuck him.
This is not the Attitude Era. Somebody referred to this era as the Renaissance era. And I will agree, it does feel more Renaissance than anything, because it is a change. There is a shift in the dynamic between what we're seeing. I remember a year ago, this time around, it was announced that the WWE was sold in a merge and acquisition with Endeavor. And one of the first things I remember saying about this merger is we will probably see more realism than anything else. And that's what we're getting. Now, I know a lot of fans, a lot of people have been stating that the families, because remember, WWE has always been family oriented. It's been a family show. And some families are like, you might have to pump the brakes on this one. It's a little too much. They're going to Netflix. It's going to get turned up. SmackDown will be moving to USA. It's no longer going to be on cable. It's going to be on a network. NXT is going to CW. There will be change. And sometimes people are not used to the change. I wasn't used to the change after the Attitude Era ended and the Ruthless Aggression Era began, and I had to get used to the product. And then for some time, I stopped watching the product because it kind of got watered down to me. Then I came back, and I haven't left. What we witnessed on Monday in Chicago was definitely something that will pull fans of the old guard, the Attitude Era guard, a mix between the Attitude and the Ruthless Aggression guard. It pulls them back because they're like, oh, like they're really doing some shit. But for the fans that have been in and never really left, or have always had their ear to what's going on, this is just another era. It's another time. It's okay, we may or may not like it, but then eventually we'll start it. We have to get used to it. It's not going to be, we're not going to consistently see blood. We're not going to consistently have the foul language because it won't be necessary in every storyline. This is personal. The Rock is towing this line, and The Rock, as he stated in that last post, he started to actually even talk more about what's going on in the world that we're living in. Think about it. Listen to what he said. Even in this crazy fucking world of pro wrestling, this is a microcosm of a larger issue I have with individuals, corporations, and governments telling us what we can or cannot do. This is a problem that is what he's doing is he is creating a bigger picture. He's taking this product and making it real. As they say, Shannon Sharp says it best. He says, I believe he says sports is a microcosm to what the world, to society. Okay? So what we are seeing is we're seeing that The Rock is doing the same thing. Because you're seeing that you're having people, networks, corporations, governments telling us what we can or cannot do. You can't say this. You can't say that. Remember, for a very long time, we've been living in a PC era where we got to toe the line in what we can or cannot say because it may offend somebody from some culture or some race. Not race, because there's only one race. Community. The Rock's like, I'm not from that era. I'm not built like that. I will speak how I want to speak. I'm going to say what I want to say. If I offend you, oh well. That is his attitude. He feels this way. So now, we're here. We're here. Like I said, I do not think this is the return of the Attitude Era. This is just simply a change in the guard. We're not going back in time. We're moving forward into a realm of gray. I believe that everything's not black and white, it's just shades of gray. And right now, that's where we are, because we don't know. You know, if you go back and you watch that video of The Rock as soon as they cleared it, he was still talking shit to Cody. He was. Now, speaking of this, did anyone catch any possible Easter eggs that was left during this ass whooping? The trailers, the one trailer that was seen in the back had two particular individuals on that trailer. Both have history with The Rock. John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, there have come times where the WWE will plant certain seeds to let you kind of think about it and go, For example, during Chicago, after the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre promo, back and forth, whatever you want to refer to it as, but after that moment, there was a backstage segment, and in the background, and they were notorious for doing this. God rest his soul. I believe Bray was the first to start really dabbing into this, where he used to have his puppets, his puppets will just be lurking in the background, but it made you be like, wait, what's going on back there? And you started to see this more with actual superstars. This particular Monday, after that was done, you in the background seen Drew McIntyre talking to who? Paul Heyman. That was an Easter egg. That was leading you to think, what are they talking about? What could they possibly be talking about? And then we seen what happened at the main event with Jey Uso. Bloodline came out. They did what they did. Drew McIntyre came out, did what he did. So now you have these Easter eggs with John Cena and Stone Cold on the trailers, and particularly shot where you can see it. And The Rock there's a callback. Mind you, remember, I said I was going back and watching old segments of Raw, old episodes of Raw. I am currently in when Stone Cold came back after he got ran down. And this is right before Survivor Series, where I believe Stone Cold fought Triple H. After he found out Triple H was the one who orchestrated and planned Rikishi to do it and all that stuff. But there was a particular time when Stone Cold and Rock fought outside in a bridge. The way he had Cody at one point looked very similar, callback. And the shot that they showed was Cena on one side, Stone Cold on the other side. Then it was also very ironic that they stated that it was 25 years to this year, 25 years ago, this year, in Philadelphia, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock faced off at Wrestlemania for the WWE title. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean we may get a Stone Cold Steve Austin appearance at WrestleMania? Maybe. Cena said he is available. We'll see. We'll see if this leads into anything. And then in the far back, there was a beast that was on a trailer. Brock Lesnar's picture was in the background. So it leads you to think, what does all this mean? It could mean absolutely nothing. It could just be, hey, we just have these people on the poster. We have these people on the trailers. But let's be real. You're not going to plant those there for no reason. Because you could do that with anybody. You could have had Kevin Owens. You could have had all the superstars on the trailer. But you had these three particular people on on two different trailers. You had Austin and Cena on one. That was very visible. And then in the background, in the back, you had Brock Lesnar. Doesn't mean anything. We'll have to wait and see. But as I also alluded to, we had we had probably one of the best Raws in WWE history for like the past 10 years, for the past decade. This Raw that happened in Chicago was incredible from the opening to the end. Ricochet put on a banger of a match. We had the CM Punk. CM Punk returned in Chicago, his hometown, and he put everybody on notice. He did hint that he may be the special guest referee, but he's not going to do that. He's going to be commentating during the Drew McIntyre-Seth Rollins match for the World Heavyweight title. I feel though as if there's going to be a whole bunch of foolery happening, and I will get into that during the prediction show. But CM Punk has alluded to a lot of things. I mean, their promo was epic. It was very... If I had to rank the promos from Monday in Chicago, I will go number one, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. That was the best one. Followed by Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and then Cody's promo. You know, speaking of Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, let's talk about this real quick, shall we? Because there's been a lot of things going around based off of this particular promo. Becky Lynch has been making the rounds as of late. Obviously, her book came out, so she's been on a press run about that. And during her interview with Ariel Helwani, he mentioned how Rhea Ripley has been doing the stink face lately. Now, matter of fact, I'm not even going. This is what Becky Lynch had to say in regards to the Ariel Helwani comment or question about Rhea Ripley and the stink face.
Your feelings on Rhea at the moment, very popular, right?
She's very popular.
I see now she's doing the...
Yeah, she's very popular. She likes to talk about why she's so popular, you know?
She's doing the stink face. People are sometimes offering up their services for that. I saw that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all this? Second coming of China, people say. Most dominant women's wrestler since China. A lot of accolades being thrown her way.
Sure.
Deserved?
She's very good. She's got a finesse, a natural ability in the ring. Look, I have always tried to get by on my merit, and I came from a different time where I was trying to change things like women doing stink faces and that being the thing that people talked about. And maybe it's a different time. Maybe when we're the main event and we're taken seriously, the people can do that and it's just fun and whatever. But I came from trying to stop us being relegated to people just viewing us on how we looked. It was how we talked, it was the stories that we told, how we think and what we do in the ring. And to me, that is fighting constantly. So when you go out there and you say, well, I can just post a photo and people will go crazy, or I can just post a video of my ass and people will go crazy, well, then that just feels like we're kind of going back. And I worry about that, because if that's what people see, and that's what people see as your champion, oh, that's the women's champion. Oh, what do I think of when I think of the women's champion? Oh, I think of her ass. Then we're just going back and we're making an ass of our business.
Very similar to what I was just talking about with the Attitude Era. I want to preference my statement. There's been a lot of talk, and I haven't really addressed it, but there's been a lot of talk as of late about Rhea Ripley and about her basically being in the position that she's in now based off of her looks. Has nothing to do with her in-ring work. Has nothing to do with the fact that she is great on the mic. Her body of work speaks for itself. It's more so based off of her looks. Now, as of late, there have been some things that have come out to be relatively, I guess, questionable. You're looking at some of the NXT stars, for example, and their appearance and how they are wearing more raunchy outfits. And it seems as if there's more of sex appeal that has starting to resurface than that of the work that they're doing. Here's my take. Rhea Ripley, this whole stink face thing, this happened on a live show. Rhea Ripley does not do the stink face during matches, during premium lives or Raws, or whenever she's actually on television performing. The house shows are literally what that is. It's a house show. They can do more, they have more fun, because a camera's not on them. It is not being seen on television. Hell, when she did this stink face to Nia Jax, who was going to do the stink face to her because Nia Jax has been doing the stink face for some time, but Becky doesn't say nothing about that. When she was going to do it the next night, or was attempting, Shayna Baszler came out and pretty much was like, do it to me, do it to me, do it to me, right? And people have been making light of this because Rhea Ripley has a nice butt. Just be honest. She does. And everyone is making memes and video clips of it should have been me or all this stuff, joking about it. But no one discredits the work, the talent that Rhea Ripley has. Same thing with the Tiffany Strattons. Same thing with the Zelina Vegas, who, in my opinion, if we want to talk about like levels, like the meter of sex appeal, Zelina Vega is like up there. Okay? Becky's talking about Rhea's posting photos of her ass. I am a big fan of Zelina Vega. Anybody who really knows me knows that. Have you seen Zelina Vega's Instagram? Have you seen Zelina Vega in general? That appeal is through the roof. Hell, before she quit, Mandy Rhodes. I said Rhodes, like Cody Rhodes. No. Mandy Rose literally had a group, Toxic Attraction. Literally, her whole gimmick has always been of this sex appeal. I get where Becky's coming from. Becky wants us to be more focused on the women and what they do in the ring. We are. It just so happens that they're doing other stuff. They are appealing. They are showing their body. They're showing their attractiveness. Rhea doesn't do that on a normal day-to-day basis. She's not doing that during shows, during Raws, during SmackDowns, during Premium Live. She's not doing that. That was during a house show. And then you just happened because it hit the fucking internet because it was trending. She brought it in a promo. She ain't gonna do that come WrestleMania. She ain't putting her ass in your face. She putting her foot in your face, but that's a whole different story. I'll talk about that during the preview show. But it's like there's a line that has to be drawn. And I think that's the line. I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see Rhea Ripley toe this line of expressing herself in a very active way, even though if you look at her Instagram, she rarely posts her ass. She rarely does. Twitter, there's other things on Twitter, like there's other Twitter pages and Instagram pages that post pictures of Rhea's ass, but Rhea rarely doesn't post her ass. So, you know, you're discrediting Rhea Ripley as a performer. And you're basically saying, like, Becky's basically saying that Rhea is living up to that hype of her being just the champ because she shows her ass and does this stuff, when that's not the case at all. Not at all. So before I wrap up, because like I said, there is a lot that I want to dive into as far as this week. We did see the debut of Jade Cargill, and there was a person that for some weeks now has said, this is what I think I see happening during WrestleMania with this. And long behold, it's been official. At WrestleMania, we will indeed see the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai, Damage Control, take on Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. Now, I've said it before. I will continue to say it. She's going to get the hot tag. She's going to lay everybody out. She's going to get the pin. It is going to be what they want. They want to build her up in a strong way. They did it with her entrance. They did it with her coming out on SmackDown at the end, concluding with Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill all pointing at the WrestleMania sign. And you can see how Jade Cargill just was excited to be in the middle between two great performers, two great black performers in Bianca Belair and Naomi. Naomi is the vet. Bianca is the present. Jade is the future. That's literally what we have right there in that shot. You have the past, the present, and the future. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be great to see Jade in the ring. She's around a lot of vets, you know, even with Asuka, even with Kyrie and Dakota Kai. They are vets in this, within this realm, especially Asuka. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays itself out. It's going to be great to see Jade. As I said before, Jade is green. I need to see the work. I need to see the work. I want to see the work. And I want to see what everyone else sees, the hype. Jade can go down as being one of the best, but she has to put in that work. I'm excited to see what the future holds for her. I just want to see. I just want that. I just want to see where she's going to go, the trajectory of her. So, with that being said, we have so much to look forward to. Tonight, make sure that you tune in as soon as Raw concludes on Peacock. They are having the Becoming Immortal, the Bray Wyatt documentary. I hope, as I said last week, I hope that this concludes with them announcing that Bray Wyatt will be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Mike Rotunda did state something about it's a possibility that he might not be inducted in the Hall of Fame this year. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe he was just saying that he was just saying that right now. But we will see that. Yesterday, there was the premiere of the season finale of A&E's biography, which I've been watching them. They've been good. My favorite one was Randy Orton's. But it concluded last night. It concluded Sunday night with Roman Reigns. I have, obviously, with me recording on Sunday, I haven't had the chance to watch it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the best one because Paul Heyman is producing and directed it. And when Paul Heyman was on the Rich Eisman show, he has stated that Roman wanted his biography to be different. He didn't want it to be like everyone else's, so he got Paul Heyman to direct it, and it's going to be great. I will talk about that in the next full episode of Wrestle Talk with the franchise. But with that being said, that is it for this episode of Wrestle Talk with the franchise. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. For those that have, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think the PG era is officially done? Are we now moving towards going back with the Attitude Era, or do you see this being just a different era of more realism? Let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all think about what The Rock had to say in his post. Let me know what y'all thought about that not the Go Home show, because we're in the Go Home show. Let me know what y'all think, how y'all think the Go Home shows are going to be for both Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Let me know what y'all think of the promos that will be cutting and the promos that I cut last week in Chicago. Let me know what y'all think of everything that's going on in wrestling right now as far as the WWE goes. I did not put this on my docket, but before I conclude, because it would not be right if I did not do that, Bleacher Report's top 50. Last week we did 40 to 31. Now we're doing 30 to 21, and we are hitting the 25 mark. So 30, Razor Ramon. 29, Trish Stratus. 28, Chyna. 27, Charlotte Flair. 26, Seth Rollins. 25, Edge. 24, Ric Flair. 23, Becky Lynch. 22, Daniel Bryan. And 21 is Triple H. And remember what the criteria is for this list. Okay? The criteria for this list, as soon as I can pull it up, was as follows. Okay. Criteria of this list: historical significance, championships, popularity, needle mover, time active, premium live pay-per-view appearances, and skills in-ring, mic, and charisma. Now, with that being said, I will tell you this much right now. There is no way. The only reason why Becky Lynch is over Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks is because of the man gimmick. When the man gimmick hit, that it caught fire. But she's not better than Charlotte Flair. She's not better than Sasha Banks, in my opinion. Remember, I told y'all this is my opinion. Okay? It's my opinion. Ric Flair, I wouldn't put Flair in this because Flair, the reason why is because when you think of Ric Flair's legend, you think of his legend in WCW and in the NWA. You don't really think of it in WWE. He had a quick stint in WWE in his prime, and then he came back, obviously, when he was with Evolution and everything. But you really think of Flair of outside of the WWE. Edge being 25, I'm not upset with it at the moment. Seth Rollins, I think Seth should have been higher. Razor, Scott Hall, I think Scott Hall got more of his fame with being in the NWO. It's more WCW. You know, Trish could be up there. She should be higher up in the chain because if you're counting, for example, championships, historical significance, she has held the title, the women's title, before Charlotte. She had the most women's title reigns before Charlotte. Chyna, historical significance, yes. So I'm not upset with Chyna's position. Daniel Bryan, it has to be the yes movement. Needle mover, yes movement. Skills, in-ring, good. Charisma, he kind of got better once he got into like the heel Daniel Bryan. He was more of like eco-friendly Daniel Bryan. Mike, Triple H, I will say Triple H is one of my all-time favorites. So him being 21, it's okay. We'll see what happens later on. As soon as all this concludes, I will then take this list and kind of give you my opinion more so. But that's it for this episode. I did not want to end without talking about the following 10 that was released this week. And then by the time I come back, this whole list will be complete. So I will not give 21 to 11, but that following week, I will give y'all all of the list from 21 to number 1. So hope y'all are ready for that. Hope you're ready for the rest of the installments of Wrestle Talk with the franchise. Make sure you follow on Instagram at RCW_podcast. Make sure that you follow, because most of the videos, most of Wrestle Talk is exclusively video only. So if you happen to notice, if you're trying to figure out why is that there is no Wrestle Talk with the franchise on just audio only, it's because I've exclusively made this video content only, video only. So you only can listen to Wrestle Talk with the franchise on YouTube. Just go where you see it at. With that being said, I'm out, but I have more.